welcome back. I'm Emma.
And I'm Kylie.
And today we're going to be doing a Q&A. So we've put a couple of questions out on our Instagram and Facebook.
Yeah, perfect. So let's begin. I apologise for reading on our phones as we've got quite a few questions that have been sent through from clients. So our first one we have is, how many guests can our venue hold?
Yeah, so we can seat up to 120 in our chapel. Our outdoor spaces are really big and we've done weddings up to 180 guests. So in the marquee, we normally recommend 130 with round tables. So they take up a bit more space, but with long tables, you can get up to 180 guests.
And that's with the dance floor area as well. So plenty of space for all that dancing.
Yeah. So what is our wet weather option for ceremony?
So we do have our gorgeous chapel. So our chapel can hold up to 120 guests seated. And with those larger weddings, we do have additional standing space on the veranda. So well and truly all under cover.
Yeah, so the chapel's beautiful, still got the garden outlook. We have done a couple of weddings with some other options. So if the chapel's not your thing, we could look at one of our marquee areas or somewhere else that's undercover for you.
So what are some of the advantages and disadvantages of having outdoor weddings?
Yeah, so outdoor receptions have been quite a trend at the moment, so under the stars. They are beautiful. You do have to be aware of a couple more things. So the marquee is all fully set up. We've got the lighting and flooring. So with outdoors, you may need to hire additional lighting, look at a dance floor option because it's on the grass there. So, and obviously it's quite weather dependent as well. So always make sure you have a backup wet weather option. So with us, we offer our marquee, which I know last year we had to use because of wet weather, but we can certainly open the walls and still do our best to give you that outdoor feel.
How is the wedding numbers affected at the moment at the current time with COVID? So what sort of numbers can we have in the marquee for the reception?
Yeah, so we are a Queensland-based venue, so we're following the Queensland regulations at the moment with COVID. So from the 10th of July, they have planned to increase it up to 100 guests for an indoor venues 4 square metres. So they are increasing and we are following the guidelines, but we'd certainly recommend that you check with us or just contact your venue to get a more detailed idea depending on what date you're looking at and other options as well that you can look at.
And the great news is they are always increasing, which is great news. So even though you might get an update one week, always do check in again closer to the time as the information provided by the government is constantly getting updated.
Yeah. So as of the day of filming at the moment, it's 20 guests in each defined area. But like I say, from July, which is coming up very soon, it's increasing. So we're very hopeful. Can flower girls throw rose petals in the chapel?
Absolutely. So with the rose petals in the chapel, we do recommend inside to use the silk fake florals or freeze-dried rose petals, but definitely for outside of the chapel, you can definitely do real rose petals. It's just that the real ones do stay in the red carpet in the chapel, so we do offer the silk and the freeze-dried options.
Yeah, so you could look at other options. So we've had bubbles.
Yep.
Flower girls walk down with little ribbons before, a cute little flower bag.
Little posy.
Yeah. So there's other options, but outside you can certainly do the fresh as well, which makes for a beautiful photo.
Absolutely.
When to send out invites. I think this is a good one.
Make sure you've got plenty of time, that's for sure. So generally we sort of say 3 months prior, but then again you might want to do the save the date or obviously give them a little bit more notice for overseas guests.
Yeah, and I think check with your venue as well when you need to confirm final numbers, and always give yourself, I'd say, a week to 2 weeks before they're due. I know quite often with weddings that guests don't respond, so just allow yourself some time to follow up with guests as well. So
yeah, make sure you've got time to follow up with your guests before creating your final seating plan and things so that you don't feel stressed at that last minute rush to get the information to the venue when you need to.
Yeah, and another good idea with invitations is adding dietary requirements.
Absolutely. So always when it gets missed off the invites. So our next question we have is recommendations for Gold Coast florists.
Yes, I think we have a lot of beautiful florists on the Gold Coast. So Katie, who has designed our set, she has an in-house florist, so check with your stylist. Wedding Flowers by Karen, she's quite local. She does a lot of weddings here. She's really popular. And there's a few more. So Moss and Stone is one that they've got a bit more of an elegant style to them as well. But we'll be sharing on our Instagram as well because there's quite a few florists that we love working with. So we'll share them on our Instagram and make sure we tag them. When do we discuss wedding plans?
So generally, we are in contact with you approximately 3 months before the wedding day. So we'll generally touch base by email or by phone to make an appointment to come in to plan your special day. However, we're obviously there in the office to answer any phone calls or any questions you may have that are quite urgent or pop up along the way. But generally, we're in contact around 3 months beforehand to schedule an appointment for you guys to come in and have a chat with us to discuss your special day.
Yeah, and we did mention one of our previous videos as well for wedding advice. If you've got any concerns or any questions, just reach out to your wedding planner or your wedding coordinator.
And what can guests do during the ceremony and reception? So while you're off having your photos, bride and groom are off around the estate, what can your guests be doing while they're having their pre-dinner drinks and canapes?
Yeah, I think this is a good question, and not many brides think of it until just before the wedding. I always think live music, especially out on the lawn, adds a really nice atmosphere. Lawn games are always really fun. We've had a few different things as well. We've had artist times, magicians before.
Gelato
Yes,
carts.
yeah. There's lots of different ways that you can keep your guests entertained. So I think and make it personalised to something that you really enjoy.
And something fun. And remember, your guests are going to be catching up with old family and friends they haven't seen for quite some time. So they don't need too much. If your budget is getting a bit tight, don't feel like you do have to spend that extra money on that time where you can use something during the reception to, that's used for a longer period of time. So feel free to, to squeeze your budget a little harder during that time if you need to.
Yeah, so I think one of the best things for this is to keep in mind timing. So if you're going off-site for photos, think of a location that's quite close by. If your ceremony and reception are different locations, look at, where there's not too much travel time. I think it's where the travel time and where guests are waiting for 2 hours, 2.5 hours, that's when the boredom starts to kind of set in. But I think as long as you've, allowed just an hour and a half, and they've got food and the bar's open, they're going to be happy.
They're going to have a good time.
So I'm sorry if we've missed anything that you've said, but just send us a message or leave us a comment. We love hearing from you. And we'd also love to know if there's any topics you'd like us to chat or any special guests that you'd love to see on our channel.
Great. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.